Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. We're not going to put on chapstick with Tillamook because we have things going on. I just did this look with the MAC Connect and Color Unfiltered Nudes, and that's what this eye look is, and we use these two columns here. And so that is what that is. And I didn't do the face because I wanted to show you the snake palette. I do have a video with the swatches, forehead swatches in comparison to Tiger, which I love. I also love Elephant. Right now though, because my face is a little bit moist, we're going to just powder down the face really quick with the Fashion Fair Truly Tawny powder. It's called Set It Loose because it is a loose powder. The shade is Truly Tawny, which is more or less my complexion. So we're just going to set the entire face with this so that when I put on the products from the snake palette, it's not going to adhere to just different patches in my skin. And so that's why we're powdering down. So I'm a little warm today. Thank you for being here. If you're new, I appreciate you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. The crazy, just enjoying doing videos, enjoying your time here on YouTube. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. Wear whatever you want to, put it on however you want to, and just rock it and know that you are amazing. Because sometimes we'll feel like we need to use a certain thing or do it a certain way because that's what other people are saying. But no, just wear what you want to and just rock it and just own who you are. That's the concept of the crazy troll nation. Because what? Just accept me and my features the way I am? That's crazy. Doing makeup the way I want to do my makeup? That's crazy. So if they want to say we're trolls or whatever, let them say that, but know that you rock and that you are amazing the way that you are. Here we are about self-acceptance and self-love, embracing your natural features, enhancing them when you want to, if you want to, but never feeling like you have to. I do curse on my channel sometimes, so if you're new here, please know that. I do try to catch myself. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So that's the intro. I feel like I'm rushing. I usually feel that way when I do more than one video in a day. And I know for you, the time is not, it's different than how I perceive time. I'm like, oh, I just did a 40-minute video. Now I'm doing another video. So I feel like I need to rush. But when you're watching it, you know, whatever day you're watching it, like time is just different. It just feels different for me. So we're going to get into the Tiger palette. What I did is I wrote down what number, and I wrote down the number it is because this is number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's the way it is written on the back, 1 through 3, and then 4 through 6. And so I wrote down the number and I wrote down what it says. So that way I don't have to keep flipping back and forth. This is the only repeat shade in here. And this is Radiant Light, which I love so much for under eye and for my face. But I do have it in a single compact, and I'm happy to have it in here. Because I do actually really use that. This one, number 2, is a blush, it says, and it's called Coral Haze. Excuse me, let me slow down. Number 3 says Metallic Strobe Powder, Infinite Strobe Light. So this is a highlighter. So top row, we have finishing powder, blush, and highlighter. What I find curious is that finishing powder you put on after you finish your entire face. So why is it number 1? I would think it should be down here because you've done all the other stuff you're going to finish with the finishing powder, but it's up here. Anyway, you can use these however you want to. The finishing powder in Tiger, I use it for a bronzer. So you find whatever way you like how it looks on you the best. Number 4 is a blush, it says, and it is called Sunbeam. And so I'm wondering if this might be a blush light for me. But we're going to just experiment. We are going to put all of these on the face today, and we're going to see what it looks like. Number 5 says it's a blush, and this is called Mystic Flush. And this is called a bronzer, and the color says Solar Bronze. As I said, I use the finishing powder in Tiger as a bronzer. And so people were saying the bronzer in Tiger is deeper than the bronzer in Snake. What some of us use as a bronzer in Tiger is not identified as a bronzer, it's identified as a finishing powder, and it is darker than this one, which tells me they can make a deeper bronzer if they want to. So I really don't understand like why they just don't do certain things. Like make a deeper bronzer. If you can make a finishing powder that works as a bronzer, that means you can make a bronzer deeper than that for deeper skin tones. But anyway, so we're going to get into this, and I am sweating, so hopefully that doesn't impact how these shadows show up. So what we're going to do first, we're going to take number 2, Coral Haze, And we're going to put that on one cheek. And yes, there were a lot of videos saying that these dupe themselves. They're not much different. Sorry for poking you in the eye with the brush. I was trying to turn it sideways, not drop it. But anyway, but we're going to see. And even if they're similar, we'll see. The swatches, they were different. But then that was swatches. And I think I used sponge tip applicators. And so the application was more dense than a brush. But we're going to start with this here, Coral Haze. And this is a Fenty number 125 face brush. And I like these brushes. And I purchased a bunch of these specifically for the Hourglass face palettes. Because look at this. The whole brush just fits right in here. And I love that. And so we're going to take this. I don't have to worry about the brush hitting other shadows. Other products in here because it goes right into the pan. And so that's what that is. I'm going to tap off. We're going to put this over here. And one thing I will say about the Hourglass blushes, they are basic. You're not going to get, the different colors like Pat McGrath has, or even, other brands. It's just a basic blush that almost anyone, depending on your preference in blush color, can use. And so it's not going to be anything outrageous. It's not going to be anything super colorful. The tones are not going to be that different or that obvious. But it's whatever you like for you. If you want something different, I do suggest Pat McGrath. And also House Labs. They have a range of colors. They have purple. They have lavender. They have like a deep red. They have a universal red. They have watermelon bliss. They have hibiscus haze, which is like a peachy shade. So if you're wanting variety, you're just going to get basic with Hourglass. Are they worth it though? In my opinion, with a coupon code or sell? Yes, because I love how they perform. And so we're still just putting this on. I am building it up so you can see what it looks like because we're going to put one of the other blushes on the other cheek. So that is that on me. So if you're around my complexion, this is what it may or may not look like on you depending on your undertone. So that was Coral Haze, this one here. Now we're going to take, I think I want to take, Mystic Flush, because that looks like it may be similar to that. So we're going to take Mystic Flush. This is number 5. I'm holding it upside down. So this is number 5 at the bottom. And that's bright. And we're going to put this over here. When I did the swatches, they were distinctly different. But again, you're still going to get just basic rosy tone blushes. Tiger is more of like a coppery tones. And even with that, for some people, they showed up the same. But it depends on your complexion and your undertone, how stuff shows up on you. And so I really was excited to also have Snake. So this is Mystic Flush. This is Coral Haze. Coral Haze is lighter, a lighter tone rosy. This is a little bit deeper. And so I do like it. And it is a difference. But day to day in your makeup, if I wore this one day and this the next day, would you notice? Me personally, I would notice because I'm a detail-oriented person. And sometimes I'll say something to somebody and they're like, oh, wow, you noticed that. Like other people were like, oh, there's something different about you. And I'd be like, you cut your mustache. And I'd be like, other people are like, something's different about you. I couldn't figure out what it is. What'd you do different? But me, I'll notice like what the difference is. I'll be like, oh, you cut your hair different or you styled it different. And so I am one of those people who will, why are there hairs sticking out, but they're not falling out? But there's like 3. What? Oh, one of them did come out. I know you can't see that. Okay, Fenty brush here. What's going on? I'm gonna cut these later. I did have these for quite a while though. So this is Mystic Flush, and I do like it. So if I want deeper, I can use that one. If I want lighter, I can use that one. So these two are different. This is the one that's here. This is the one that's here. So they are different. They do show up different on me. I'll say that. Now we're going to, I think I want to take a different type of brush. We're going to take, instead of another blush brush, which would give us, this type of brush will give me a more dense application. So we're going to take a lighter brush. Do I want to do that? Yes. And we're going to take Sunbeam, which says it's also a blush. And we're going to use it as a blush light. We're going to put it at the top edge of the blush, and then the highlighter we're going to put up here. And so that's why I wanted to take a smaller brush, not as dense. And again, this is Sunbeam. The Sunbeam, because of the name, is making me think it's a lighter color. Oh, so we're going to just tap that like right here on the top edge. And so you're not really seeing the color for what it is because we're placing it on top of something else. So just this top edge. So I apologize you're not getting, I guess, the proper representation of this color. But I'm thinking from the name of it, I would use it as a blush light, meaning the top edge of my blush, just to brighten it a little bit. I can see it here that it's brighter. And this is the lighter blush between this one and this one. And for me, it looked like it just diffused the top edge of the blush. That's what it looks like. It did for me. And so that is just right here. And I do like this look. And I would wear this out because it does look like it just diffused it. So that was Sunbeam, that shade here. And it does look a little more orangey than these two that we used already. So now we're going to take the highlighter, which is this one, Metallic Strobe Powder, and it is called Infinite Strobe Light. So we're going to use a highlighter brush. This is a Fenty number 120 highlighter brush. This one, it's a lot of kick up over here on the side, and I do think it's just this brush, the way this brush is designed, that created a lot of kick up in the pan. For the blushes, I didn't have any kick up, but this one, this highlighter shade, it did. So we're going to just swipe this right here. Oh, that's pretty. You see that? That's pretty. And also with the highlighters, they're going to be pretty basic. And they may really look similar to other highlighters because it's just a highlighter. That's pretty. And I do like a lit from within glow, and that's what that gave me. Wow. So we have the highlighter, the blush Sunbeam as a blush light, and this is Coral Haze blush. The highlighter, Sunbeam that we're using as a blush light, and then we have Mystic Flush. Wow. We're going back to the brush that had Sunbeam, and we're just going to run it along the line of where we put it in the bottom line of the highlight. So that's just right here. So we have the highlighter, what we're using as a blush light, and the blush. Highlighter, what we're using as a blush light, and then the blush. So that leaves one thing to use, two more things to use. This is just because I'm a little sweaty. We're going to take this brush, which is a dense brush. This is Scott Barnes, it says travel powder brush. This is huge for a travel brush, but anyway. So we're going to take what they're saying is a bronzer. And there's no kick up with this. The only one that had kick up was the highlighter. And this is Solar Bronze. And so we're going to put the, oh, it did, okay, it showed up. So we're going to turn the brush sideways and sweep it like that. And I did coat both sides of the brush. And now we're using the tip of the brush to blend it because I didn't know that was going to do that. It does show up on me, as you see. It does. This, okay, I'm going to blend. I am going to use the finishing powder, which will help diminish like any looks of lines. And we're going to use the tip of the brush, bring that here. And this is how I do my bronzer and contour sometimes. I do, you know, here and then by my ear, and then I bring it along. I can see that. Oh, I'm going to have to blend that. And then I bring it along my jawline. I use bronzer and contour interchangeably, even though they are technically two different things. A bronzer is to bring warmth into your face, and a contour, I was seeing if my forehead was sweaty, and a contour is supposed to create shadow to diminish the look of, you know, a certain area of your face. But for me, because they tend to look the same on me, I use them interchangeably. A contour usually is more cool tone. The bronzer in Elephant is cool tone on me. I use it as a contour. And the finishing powder in Tiger, that's warm tone on me. I use that as a bronzer. And so this is what we have. I'm digging it. I'm liking how this is looking on me. The blushes do look different. The bronzer does show up on me. So this will give you an idea, if you're around my complexion, what it'll look like on you. And if you're lighter or deeper than me, it may help you figure out what you can use where. Maybe the blushes, well, this one in particular may be a blush light for you. This one is Coral Haze. The highlighter, I think, will look nice still, even on deeper complexions. The bronzer may be a finishing powder for some people because of the tone of it, but I just wanted to show you what it will look like on me. So now we're going to take Radiant Light, which I do have in a single compact that I showed you that I love. This brush does not quite fit, so we're just using the tip of the brush. I do use it to set under eye, and I do use it to set my face. And I love the look of this on my face. And if there are lines, let me see where there's a line. Where you see this line right here, it'll just like buff that out and just blend everything in like seamlessly. I don't know what the formula is or what they do, but everyone I've seen that uses the Hourglass finishing powders, it does just really finish your face. Radiant Light is what it says, is radiant. It will give you a glow. In Elephant, there's Dim Light, and I purchased a single of that. That one just dims down things just a little bit, and it finishes your face. It doesn't give you a radiance like Radiant Light does, and I do like them both. Dim Light doesn't work so well under my eyes because of the discoloration under my eyes, but Radiant Light does work under my eyes because it creates just a subtle luminosity that camouflages some of my under eye discoloration. And so you see how Radiant Light, like these lines are not as prominent, especially this one right here, as it was earlier once we put Radiant Light on. So let me know if you purchased Snake, if you're liking it, if you passed on it because it looked too similar to the other palettes from last year. But yeah, we've put everything in here on our face today, and I like it. And I like that the blushes do show up different. This is much lighter, not much, but you can tell the difference. And so I am pleased with that. The highlighter gave me the Lit From Within glow that I like. The bronzer, it did show up on me, and it is warm on me and not cool tone like the bronzer in Elephant. And so I do like that. And I do like how the blushes are showing up, and even this one, Sunbeam, as a blush light, like right here. I like how that looks too. And I probably will do that. There's a blush in Tiger that I use as a blush light because of the tone of it. And again, just find what works for you, where you want it on your face for the look that you want to have for your makeup. And so that's the key, I think, to the Hourglass face palettes, because if you just try to use them as they say, you might be like, this ain't working. And so if it matters to you, or if you want it, find how it works for you. If you just want to stick to, okay, it says it's a blush, use it as a blush, and it doesn't look right on you as a blush, that's fine. There was a long time where I used things according to what they said, because that's what they said it was. And then I had to learn, I didn't have to, but I learned to experiment, just try things in different ways other than what they're called. And I began enjoying makeup, a lot more once I started doing that, because again, use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. And I'm happy with this. I do feel like this was a good purchase for me. I did have a coupon code or something. I do not pay full price for this stuff because it's expensive. I think this year these were 90 bucks. I'm like, huh. But you're getting, 6 different things in here. This one has a finishing powder, 3 blushes, a highlighter, and a bronzer. So if everything works and you like how it makes your face look, then it's worth it. But you have to decide that for yourself. So hopefully this was helpful to you. Let me know what you think. And this is my first time using this palette, and I'm digging it. I'm glad I purchased it. Thank you, and you will see me soon. I'm gonna take a little bit of the bronzer and put on my nose, because usually I do that anyway. But anyway, yeah, that's really gonna be it. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all those things. There's a lot of links down below. Some are affiliated, a few are not, but they're there for your ease in shopping. If you're watching my video and you just want to click something and see what's what, I have my Macari store down below, my Shop My stores down below, and yeah, that'll be it. So thank you for being here. As always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.